It's Tech Strong TV coming to you live, day 3 of our coverage of RSAC here at Moscone West in San Francisco. We've had great conversations with leading cybersecurity firms and experts from across the globe. And I'm pleased to welcome back one of our guests, Anand Oswal, who I've had the privilege of interviewing before, the SVP and GM of Network Security at Palo Alto Networks. Anand, great to have you. Big week for Palo Alto.
Great to be here today. Yes, Lisa, it's a great week.
Can't go to a conference these days without talking about AI and security. It's just table stakes.
Yeah.
But Palo Alto has been really obviously making headlines, especially this week, announcing the acquisition of Protect AI, new AI-powered security platforms, because every company has to have an AI story.
Yeah.
Talk to us about the impact that Protect AI will enable Palo Alto to make with its customer base.
Yeah. So if you step back, Lisa, you talked about, you cannot talk about AI. A year ago, everybody talked about seismic shift that AI was having on businesses.
Yeah.
Right? At Palo Alto Networks, we solved two of our customers' more important problems. How do you have employees access AI applications safely and securely? And as you're building these applications, because every organization is building them.
Yes.
They want to change their business. They want to give new experiences to their customers. How do I deploy these securely? So with that in mind, we've done two things. The first is for employees. Look, everybody's accessing AI applications. You are, I am, our employees are, because they want to get more productive, they want to be more effective, they want to be more efficient. Now, all of this is getting access from the browser. The browser is the prominent attack vector. So a new secure browser is needed for this new era of AI. And what we launched today is that we already have a secure browser. We said employees can browse bravely. They can access these applications, not worrying about data leaking, etc., because we are making sure that the organizations have all the tools for them to do it. Advanced threats, advanced malware, which are browser native. But the most important thing also for users is that don't compromise my user experience.
Right.
So we will untether your web and SaaS applications, give maximum performance, reduce your reliance on all this legacy VDI stuff.
Yeah.
At the same time, have that consistent security. That's what we did for employees accessing AI applications. The second thing, I think you touched on Protect.
Yeah.
And what we launched this week is Prisma AIRS. It's the industry's most complete and most comprehensive AI security platform. Look, we look at AI application changing the landscape.
Yeah.
Right? You have your app architectures evolving.
Yeah.
You have new types of threats. You can't have point products for different parts of your thing. Right?
No.
Need all of this stitched together, delivered comprehensively, and solving the entire problem for the customers.
Yeah. Well, doesn't the average organization have 7 to 10 plus different security tools in their environment anyway?
They have
Point
more than
solutions?
that. The average customer has many more than that. But if you look at AI, it's changing the way you build applications. Now, you and I have been around the block a long time.
Yes.
Long ago, how were applications built? A 3-tier model. You had a front end, you had a database, and you had a back end, or the application.
Yeah.
Then came along the cloud. It modernized your application, microservices, cloud constructs. AI applications are really the third wave. You're bringing in newer things. It's not just an application, a model, and you're done.
Yeah.
You're bringing in infrastructure, models, data, tools, plugins. What happens? It increases your attack surface.
And the complexity.
And the complexity.
Yes.
So you can fight those with your point products for model scanning, point products for posture, point products for red teaming, point products for runtime, point products for agent security. You got to solve this cohesively and consistently across the entire gamut. And that's what we announced with Prisma AIRS.
That's fantastic, because you talked about the attack surface. It's just going to continue to spread. And I always think of it as it's really amorphous. There's so many new applications, threat vectors, channels, actors, that this problem isn't going away. Yeah. It's just going to continue at speed and scale.
Yeah. I think we call it the scale, the sophistication, and the speed, the 3 S's.
Yes.
And AI is just turbocharging all of this. So if you think about AI applications, they're bringing in new threats. Yeah. Attackers are using prompt injection techniques to get customer data. So they pretend that I'm you and they'll get my data. They're making code generate malware. You can do a model DOS attack. You can do a simple query to a model, like a simple example, we print hello 1 trillion times. It can make the model spin. Of course, those are simple ones that people can block now. Yeah. But most important, you don't want your sensitive data. You've taken your data, you've trained your models, you don't want that data to leak.
Right.
Now, the other thing that's interesting, I know you said about AI, the next most famous word is agents.
Right, especially these days.
Everybody starts. So if you think of agents, what do the agents do? If LLMs give you answers, agents give you action.
Action.
Right? They plan, they adapt, they act autonomously, and they replan and they react.
Yes.
So now when you're thinking of security, you need to think how the model is thinking, how the model is behaving, what is the model architecture. The risks are no longer in just your code and vulnerabilities, in the training data used to train the models. And that's why when we announced Prisma AIRS, we said there are 5 important pillars
Okay.
of AI runtime security. First, model scanning. We scan code and infrastructure today.
Yeah.
So what's different in models? The difference is the data used to train the model, different model architecture, different model behavior. Then we think of posture. Posture should not be just for a model. Again, like I said, we don't need point products.
No.
Network, application, models, data, agents. All this done comprehensively with posture management. Then red teaming. What does red teaming do? Red teaming is trying to mimic how an adversary thinks. So you think of AI and agents, we don't execute code only. We plan, we adapt, we replan. So your AI red teaming should be autonomous. It should be able to think how an adversary thinks and be comprehensive to mimic real behaviors.
Okay.
If you think of a runtime security, you have threats that we know from classical applications, classical threats. Then you have specific threats for AI applications, the ones I talked about, prompt injection, model DOS, etc. But then you have other threats related to agents. One important one is, look, agents will give you answers short term, but agents want to be personalized for you over the long term. What if I poison the memory of that agent uses? Now it's going to change the behavior of the agent.
Okay.
Agents have to do autonomous actions. What if they have excessive permissions?
Yeah.
So all this needs to be thought through comprehensively to make sure that you have security. And that's what Prisma AIRS is, the most comprehensive platform. Discover your system, assess your risk, and protect all your threats in one platform. Single management, workflow is completely unified. So it's not dealing with 12 different point products to solve the same problem.
Well, what I'm hearing is massive simplification.
You have to.
For CISOs, because the threat landscape will continue to evolve. The technology will continue to evolve.
Yeah.
There's no slowing down. Nobody wants less data slower. We know that.
Yes.
But something else that you said that I like, because I always think of humans in the cybersecurity chain are often the weakest link, but they can be the biggest asset. So what you're enabling Brave browsing, you're enabling humans to take some of that risk out of the equation, which is essential because employees need to be able to deliver what the customers want.
Look, what do employees want? Employees want to be productive.
Yes.
They want to look good. They want to get their work done effectively.
Do want to look good.
And they want to get it done efficiently.
Yes.
So they want to use these tools. The job of the organization is to ensure that, hey, do you have safe and compliant usage of these tools?
Yeah.
Can I control what applications are being used and what I don't want to be used? Can I protect the sensitive data from leaking out the organization? And all these applications, Lisa, they give responses back. What if the responses have threats and malware?
Right.
Protect you. That's what you want to make empower the employee to do.
Yes.
And that's what we say, browse bravely. Now, if you think
Love
of the
that.
developers, they're building applications because they want to transform your business. AI applications are going to change every business.
Absolutely.
It's going to change your P&L. It's going to change the way you think about customer experiences. You're going to give newer experiences. Now, you want to deploy those applications bravely. But a lot of times, if you don't know all the steps that you take to make sure it's done right, you could make a mistake.
Absolutely.
You could use, like today, for example, there are about 1.6 million models on Hugging Face.
1.6 million.
Yes.
Wow.
Now, a developer could just download a model, but what if it has vulnerabilities?
In it.
It has malicious code inside it.
Right.
So you just scan it. What if your agents have excessive permissions because they're acting autonomously,
Right.
and they have excessive permissions, and when you do that, something else happens.
Yeah.
So all that needs to be thought through. Model scanning, posture management, red teaming, your runtime security, and the platform should be ready for newer things like agents.
Right.
But that's coming. The plethora of agents is going to happen.
It's coming. There's no slowing that train down at all. I talk with a lot of CMOs, and even in the marketing function, CMOs, part of their KPIs is AI agents acting on their behalf.
Yes.
It's everyone's embracing it. It's kind of like, well, I always feel like when ChatGPT was born a couple years ago, this catalyst just went haywire because AI's been around for a long time.
Yes.
But suddenly now it's everyone has to have an AI story.
Yes.
Well, there's a lot of opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
But there's a lot of risk as well.
Yeah.
How is the CISO role in your experience changing to be able to have this AI platform comprehensive view and also enable those employees to Browsely Brain?
Yeah.
Brave Browsely.
If you look at the organizations, the job of the security organizations is to, of course, secure the organization. You want to make sure that the employees, that the sensitive data is not leaked. And in many cases, it's not through malicious intent.
Yeah.
Employees may not know. You put some things in your AI tool and the data is out.
Yeah.
You didn't do it intentionally.
No.
So how do you have the right controls? Full visibility. It starts with full visibility. You can only secure something if you see it.
Right. Can't
So
secure what you can't see.
You can secure what you can see. So full visibility. Then you can decide, do you want to allow it, or deny it, or you want to block or limit usage.
Right.
Once you do that, then what for the applications that I allow, how do I ensure I have the right policies that my sensitive data is not leaking out? That's what you want to do for employees to be productive.
Yes.
But at the same time, do it safely and securely.
Right.
Right? And the same thing applies to the way we approach you building applications for your end customers. Right? If you're able to use all these tools and make it more efficient, you're able to give new experiences to your customers,
Yes.
potentially generating new revenue streams,
Absolutely.
reducing your cost. You want to do it securely and safely.
And that's business value. That's outcomes to the business.
Exactly.
And that's what the C-suite wants to achieve.
Everybody wants that.
Yes.
So you just need to make sure that you're thinking through all aspects of security, and it's not an afterthought.
Can't be. I think that's been proven time and again because the sophistication of the risks and the attack, they're growing. The technology innovation is growing. Is it possible to fight fire with fire? Are we going to be able to be proactive here?
Yeah, absolutely yes. The answer is absolutely
That's
yes.
a good answer. I'm happy to hear it.
Let me give you some data points. Today we are blocking on our platform 31 billion attacks every single day
31 billion attacks every single day.
with a B.
With a B.
Yes.
Wow.
Right? Now, a small number, 9 million or so, are net new attacks, day zero attacks.
Every day.
Attacks that nobody has ever seen before.
9 million new a day.
Yes. And the reason we're able to do it is because we use what we call precision AI security services.
Okay.
It's a combination of machine learning, deep learning, and all the variability we can get through Gen AI. Right? Because the days of you getting infected with something, me learning about it, building a signature, patching my system so everybody else is safe are over.
Right.
I want to protect things that you have never seen before.
Right.
We have over 4,400 deep learning models on a platform that are able to look at content, metadata, real-time traffic to stop these
Yeah.
right there. And that's the power of what we can get through AI to solve these things holistically.
So is that where CISOs need to be focusing on all of the net new attacks to be able to get ahead?
It's both, right? So
both.
of course you want to stop all the attacks that you know of, because it's easier now to create attacks with AI.
Yes.
But you also want to have a system that is able to look at all your data, to look at the variability, to look at your behaviors, and stop threats that you've not seen before.
You need to be doing both
You have to do it,
simultaneously.
because at the end of the day, it's not enough to say that you got infected, everybody else is now secure.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want anybody infected. I want to be able to be proactive
Yeah.
right now. And that's
Yes.
what we've been working on.
Yes.
And that's where we want to make sure that we're ahead of the game.
That proactivity is so critical because of the speed with which everything is scaling. The good stuff, the bad stuff, the questionable stuff, the opportunities. What's been the customer and partner feedback this week since the announcement of the acquisition?
I probably met 30 customers or so. And then
This
already,
week?
yes, already.
Wow,
Some
you've had a busy
one-on-one,
week.
some together.
Okay.
There are a couple of things that have come out. Every customer is saying the point you said before. I have too many tools,
Yep.
too many point products. I don't know how to make this work. Help me. Right? I can't have a consistent policy across all my infrastructure. This is just becoming to a point where I need help.
And they're overwhelmed, I'm sure.
Yes. Oh, they're overwhelmed.
Yes.
The second thing they're saying is that AI is a great enabler, but how do I make sure I enable it and stay safe and secure, both
the
for the
same time.
employees and the business value when I'm building applications?
Yes.
And the third is that, like, what does it mean for me in terms of how do I ensure that all of these things come together?
Yes.
I reduce my operational cost. I am getting more and more efficient, and I'm able to stay at the curve. Or in a simple way, they're saying, how does my organization make more money? How do I save money? And how do I be out of trouble?
So are you seeing more of the CISOs now having to go to the C-suite, to the CEO, and prove business value and AI spend? I imagine they do. It's no longer just a...
Yeah, a lot of the AI spend on building new applications is coming from the business. A lot of the things that you need to do for preventing,
security?
securing usage of AI applications is definitely coming from a security group. So it's a combination.
Yeah.
And it varies by organization. Different organizations are structured differently, right?
So walk me through some of the plans for existing customers from a migration integration perspective. What can they expect to be able to really capitalize on all of the value that Prisma AIRS is going to
I think
deliver?
that's a great question. So if you think about our network security platform, right? It is comprehensive. The whole idea is any user on any device accessing any application, any data on any network, consistently secured. So when you have newer use cases like AI, the platform is extensible. So you take the example of employees accessing AI applications is easily enabled on the platform no matter where you are. You could be in the office going through your firewall. You could be home going to SASE. If you think about your developers, as they build new applications for that business value we talked about,
Yeah.
the existing platform is extensible for me to enable all the capability I talked to you about with Prisma AIRS with the same framework. So now you're leveraging what you have to provide a consistent capability to
That
the customer.
consistency
So it's
is
not yet
key.
another point product, a
Right.
new UI, a new tool, a different policy for
Right.
AI. Because, I mean, if you fast forward a few, maybe I don't know how long, it's hard to predict. Every application will be an AI application.
Yeah.
There's no distinction anymore.
And it's not going to take too long.
Yes. So you want to have that extensibility of the platform because you'll always have new things. Or you look at our secure browser. It plugs in exactly into our SASE architecture. So it's not like another solution for something. It's all integrated and brought together very cohesively for our customers. So easy for them to consume.
Easy for them to consume, which is great. What are they looking at time frame wise to be able to really extract the business value here?
Yeah.
And also dive down that technical debt of all of those extraneous security tools.
Yeah. So I think it varies. Every customer is in a different journey.
Sure.
We have many customers today who are using the complete platform, securing how they have applications in their data center, securing their cloud assets, securing their AI, both for employees and applications and the remote workforce. But the platform is modular. You have a choice to start in a different way in different journey.
Yeah.
So you could start with your SASE customers, where your remote workers and remote branches, and then migrate to the other parts. Majority of our customers, of course, are using our firewalls, hardware and software in the cloud or in
Right.
the data centers to protect, and then they're able to move there. So it varies on customers.
Many pathways of opportunity.
Many pathways to get there, but
Yes.
the end goal is the same. How do I get a consistent security? How do I reduce the operational cost? How do I get into a better ROI for my investment? And I just want to make sure this security works. I can't be reactive. I want to be proactive.
That you can't afford to be reactive anymore. We have to be proactive. But it's a balance.
Yeah, but it's also about, if you see the majority of issues happen because of manual configurations or
Yes.
misconfigurations.
Yes.
So what we're doing in the platform is easier way for you to dynamically determine. So the example I gave you on red teaming,
Yes.
after I do my red teaming, the policy recommendations are based on two things: my best practices and the environment.
Yeah.
And that's tuned dynamically. So now you don't need to do the hard work of figuring out what's the right policy. I'm able to recommend that to you and with a single click apply it.
So workflows are getting more streamlined.
More streamlined, more simplified.
Yeah.
Right?
So I get the value to the business, the value to the CISO, the value to the C-suite. Is this? I always kind of look for what's the bridge between the developers and the security folks, because we know DevSecOps as a concept
Yeah.
is still kind of in its infancy.
Yeah.
Is this a facilitator? Is this that platform, that bridge between the developers having the experience they expect
Yeah.
and the security folks being able to ensure the security of the environment?
Yes, I think it's a very good question. If you think about the journey of cloud, the developers went there before the security people came in.
Yeah.
So what is the first question the security professional asks? What's running in my cloud? Right? Is it exposed? Does it have vulnerabilities? Once you gave them the list, it's like, it's too long. Please shorten that list for me.
Yeah.
I can't deal with all of them.
It's overwhelming.
Right?
Yeah.
Then they say, look, I need to have runtime security. The idea is that all these pieces, and the same thing is happening with AI, all of these pieces need to be brought together cohesively. So you're providing a unified solution, not a piecemeal solution of, hey, this is my vulnerabilities, this is my posture, this is the results of your red teaming, this is your runtime risk. No. Tell me all of them, show me a workflow to link them all to give me the best outcome. Don't show me all these small activities. I'm outcome based. That's what they want.
You want to get rid of that noise.
Exactly.
See through the noise
Yeah.
to elevate the impact.
Yeah, and in the end, give and show the outcome what is happening. Otherwise, I'm dealing with 10 different products, 10 different solutions. They have 10 different management planes. They don't
Yep.
talk to each other. They don't share threat intelligence. I'm not getting the outcomes I want.
Right. What excites you about where we are in security in 2025? Here we are with about 45,000 security professionals and vendors and partners. You mentioned some good news earlier about we're going to be able to get proactive.
Yeah.
Palo Alto is enabling organizations
Yeah.
across industries to get there, which is table stakes these days. But what excites you about where we are from an offensive perspective in cybersecurity? Are we there yet?
Yeah, look, I think the more important factor that I'm excited about is that I think for the first time with the advent of AI, you feel that security is solvable. You can really make sure that you can stitch all these things together cohesively to solve customer problems. But you have to have the right architecture, right approach.
Sure.
If you go with 10 different point products for 10 different point solutions that are not talking to each other,
No.
not sharing, it's very hard,
Yeah.
right? It's very complicated. So how do you have that consistent policies? I could be at home, I could be in the office, I could be on the road. I could be on this device, I could be on my personal device that's owned by me. I could be accessing an application in my data center, cloud, SaaS, AI. It doesn't matter.
It shouldn't matter.
Rest. And that is exactly what we're solving with the platform.
Yeah. Awesome. What's next for Palo Alto? Obviously, great momentum this week. I'm going to continue that. Any nuggets you can share with us?
There'll always be new innovation that you'll see from us in cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is ever evolving field.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for more information.
I love that. Anand, it's been great having you on TechStrong TV. Thank you for sharing and really dissecting what's new at Palo Alto, how you're enabling this comprehensive, cohesive view. You're taking out technical debt. You're simplifying the CISO's workflow. You're simplifying the employee experience in this age of AI that is so incredibly important. And you said, in the age of AI, security is solvable. I love that. Thank you for all your insights. I appreciate it. We'll be following Palo Alto.
Yeah. Thank you, Lisa.
Great to have you. For Anand Oswal, I am Lisa Martin. You're watching TechStrong TV live from day 3 of our coverage of RSAC. Stick around. We have more great content coming at you on TechStrong TV. We'll see you in a minute.